Kobe is no question one of the most impactful and important athletes to ever live. In a legendary career that spanned 2 decades, Kobe Bryant redefined basketball. In those 20 seasons, Kobe earned himself 18 All-Star selections, a regular season MVP award, 2 Finals MVP awards, 5 championship rings, and oh yeah, let's not forget, 2 Olympic gold medals. There are a dozen of videos here on YouTube that cover those accomplishments, but today we're here to discuss one of his off-the-court accomplishments, his accomplishments in the sneaker world.
Welcome to the Kobe Show.
This is Sonny Vaccaro, the man responsible for introducing Nike to Michael Jordan in the late 80s. In 1996, Sonny was working as a consultant to Adidas. Through his Adidas-sponsored ABCD basketball youth camp, Sonny Vaccaro was able to scout on-the-rise high school basketball players for Adidas. Kobe was one of those players, and by the end of the camp, Kobe was in an all-star game and had made a name for himself. He hugged me. I'll never forget, he hugged me and he said, "Mr. Vaccaro, I'm sorry." I said, "Sorry? Kobe, what are you sorry about?" He said, "Next year, I'll be the MVP of this camp." I'd never heard such a thing before. Never heard it again. Apologize for making just the all-star game? Not Michael? Not LeBron? I said right then, this kid is special.
Nike and all the other pretenders did not want to mess with a high school guy. And so I called Peter Moore and I said, "Peter, I'm going to give him $1 million a year." There weren't $1 million contracts in the 1990s, and there especially wasn't one given to a high school kid. As soon as he graduated from that high school, we were signing him. And we did.
Straight out of high school, Kobe was the new face of Adidas. Not unlike how Allen Iverson became the face of Reebok straight out of high school. The only difference was that AI had a signature shoe right out of the gate. This wasn't the case for Kobe though. Adidas decided to use Kobe's attention to promote their brand new footwear technology called Feet You Wear. It was designed to mimic the natural curves and shape of the human foot. Kobe would rock the Top 10 2000, the Top 10 2010, and the EQT Elevation. The EQT Elevation in particular has become a classic, thanks to Kobe wearing them in a Lakers PE colorway when he won the 1997 Slam Dunk contest at All-Star Weekend. Kobe received his first signature shoe, the Adidas KB8, at the start of his second year in the NBA. During the 97-98 season, what would be Michael Jordan's last with the Chicago Bulls, Kobe faced his childhood hero on 3 separate occasions, and each time he did, he was rocking the KB8s on feet. Can you imagine being 19 years old facing off with Michael Jordan? The shoes were later retroed and rebranded by Adidas after Kobe went to Nike. The silhouette is now commonly referred to as the Crazy 8s. In his 3rd year with Adidas, Kobe got his second signature model, the KB8-2. While not as popular as the KB8s, the sneakers were still retroed by Adidas under the name the Crazy 2s. Aside from the Feet You Wear technology, the sneaker featured a synthetic upper with multiple molded layers, a mesh tongue, EVA midsole, and of course the torsion system plate on the bottom. He only wore these for a year before moving on to his 3rd signature shoe, the KB8-3. The KB8-3 was the final Adidas Kobe sneaker to release under the KB8 moniker. As Kobe's star power grew, Adidas decided to rebrand his shoes by simply naming them the Kobe 1 or the Kobe 2 or what have you. Fun fact about the KB8-3 is that the sole was actually borrowed by Kanye West for the Yeezy 500 silhouette. Just have a look at some of these side-by-side photos. I think it's super dope that Yeezy used a sole from an Adidas old model. It kinda gives the KB8-3 a new relevance. Unfortunately, the Adidas Feet You Wear technology was abruptly discontinued due to a legal dispute between Adidas and the inventor of the technology. This forced Adidas to shift the design direction of the Kobe line. Enter the Kobe 1. Released in the year 2000, the sneaker was a major departure from the Feet You Wear design style. The futuristic aesthetic was inspired by the Audi TT Roadster, apparently at the time, Kobe's favorite car. Kobe wore these when he won his first ring in the 2000 finals against the Lakers and the Pacers. To go along with the debut of the Kobe 1, Adidas unveiled the Froby logo, a silhouette of a young Kobe with an afro. Personally, I prefer this logo over the Sheath logo he later used with Nike. What do you guys think? The Froby logo or the Sheath logo? Alright, if you're a fan of Kobe and his shoes, then you probably already know what shoe is coming next. Probably the most bizarre performance shoe ever made, the Kobe 2. The Kobe 2s took the same design language from the previous model and transformed it into this box-shaped looking toaster, something the world was not ready for. In fact, not even Kobe Bryant was ready for this shoe. Many believe that the Kobe 2's unfavored design is the reason why Kobe ended up severing ties with Adidas in the first place. Kobe clearly didn't like the design direction the three stripes were taking him. I mean, look at these unreleased Kobe 3 prototypes. This is what would have been the follow-up if Kobe had stayed with Adidas. Thank God he left, and I don't blame him for wanting to opt out of the contract. Allegedly, he even paid $8 million to Adidas to part ways. As part of his buyout agreement, he was restricted from signing with another brand for 1 year, which resulted in a season of being a sneaker-free agent. He wore some amazing player exclusives from multiple brands, and that's what we'll be covering in the next section of this video. When Kobe and Shaq three-peated with the Lakers, fans were losing their minds. A brand new dynasty in LA. Who was gonna take down Kobe and Shaq? Nobody. Unfortunately for them, it was the beginning of the end. Shaq's frustrations with the organization led to the eventual split of one of the greatest basketball duos of all time. On the sneaker side of things, there was a split happening too. Previously on the channel, we made a video that covered the first part of Kobe's sneaker history, the iconic stint he had with Adidas. In his severance agreement with Adidas, Kobe paid $8 million to free himself of the toaster shoe designs he hated. Part of this agreement was he wasn't allowed to sign with the brand until 2003. Kobe was a free agent. Well, a sneaker free agent. Unlike when Kobe first entered the league, brands weren't looking at him as some high school kid. He was a bona fide NBA superstar now, fresh off 3 straight championship victories. It seemed like everybody and their mom were throwing products at Kobe, and to much surprise, he wore it all. Every sneaker collector dreams of owning a pair of sneakers from Kobe's sneaker free agency. Hell, even the show Pawn Stars recently showed a collection featuring some of these sneaker grails. To kick things off, Kobe loved the Air Force One off the court, and now that he could wear whatever he wanted, he brought out the Lakers schemed Air Force One mids. The only acceptable mids in sneaker culture, by the way. Man, Kobe even laced up a Lakers colorway Converse weapon, the shoe made famous by another Lakers legend, Magic Johnson. We'll be making a video all about the 80s and 90s Converse basketball sneakers, so be on the lookout for that later on this year. Back to the kicks that Kobe was rocking though. Even And One was throwing its hat in the ring to try to win Kobe over. Seen here in the And One Desire mid, this was a different time in the basketball sneaker world. And One was absolutely killing it with having the high-flying dunk champion Vince Carter wearing the Tai Chi. Even Stephon Marbury would have his own shoe with the brand, much different than the And One of today. There were 2 big shoe companies fighting for him at the time, Nike and Jordan Brand and Reebok. Let's start with Reebok. During this time, we would see Kobe lace up player exclusives of the Answer 4, the shoe Allen Iverson stepped over Ty Lue in the finals years earlier, except this pair was all done up in the Lakers purple and gold. However, Kobe would be better known for wearing the Reebok Questions though, just like the Questions Allen Iverson wore for the Sixers but with Lakers colors. Both pairs are built exactly the same, white leather upper with colored toes, pretty simple but a combo you can't go wrong with. I really wish Reebok would release every colorway like this. It's just one of those classic color blockings you can't mess with. Both of Kobe's Questions would get a widespread release eventually. The purple toe pair was released alongside a green and white pair, done up for LeBron James, who at the time was still a high school kid playing for St. Vincent St. Mary High School. Maybe a LeBron sneaker history video in the future? Let me know in the comments down below. The Reeboks were great and all, but it's the Nikes and the Jordans that collectors are really after. Kobe would rock Lakers-inspired Jordan 3s, 7s, and 8s, reminiscent of the color blocking Jordan himself wore. The 3s were a white cement 3 with purple and gold accents. And then probably my favorite of the bunch, the 8s, which were more Bugs Bunny 8s again with purple and yellow accents, making it seem more cartoony to me. I don't know why, but it just seemed cartoony. Kobe would even pull out a black Jordan 7 with a nubuck upper, like a Raptor 7, but instead of Raptors, they were Lakers colors. This was a much different time in the basketball world. Jordan athletes would still wear retros on the court, all done up in their team's colors. For example, Ray Allen's Seattle Supersonic 5s come to mind, but the likes of Mike Bibby and Eddie Jones, and even on the football side of things, Randy Moss and Donovan McNabb would all get special colorways for their team. You see it more on the football field now, but rarely in the NBA does a player wear their own PEs of original Jordans nowadays. That was more of a thing back then. In recent years, some samples came to surface, including a cool gray Jordan 9 with a yellow globe on the heel and a yellow 8, as well as a white and purple Jordan 9 with yellow accents. Shaquille O'Neal would also get a few Jordan 9s as well too. Kobe also wore normal inline products as well. Pairs like the Copper 17 Pluses, the Concord 11s, and the Flint Gray 12s. One of my favorite combos were the True Blue 3s in the All-Star game in Atlanta that year, Michael Jordan's last All-Star game. I will still never forget that dress Mariah Carey wore to sing that anthem. Kobe would also wear the French Blue 12s with the throwback blue Lakers jersey. But as everybody knows, the shoe that Kobe really loved playing in the most was a Nike Air Flight Huarache. We've actually done an entire history of Air Huaraches, and I'm gonna link it at the very end of the video, so stick around for that. 2003 would come and go, and the Lakers would lose in 6 games to the eventual champions, the San Antonio Spurs. But now it was time. Kobe could sign a sneaker contract with whoever he wanted, frankly. As we all know, he would sign with the swoosh. His signing would come days after Nike would sign LeBron and Carmelo Anthony, the 2 frontrunners of the 2003 NBA draft. As for Kobe and the Lakers, this was their last shot. They assembled a super team, Shaq and Kobe together again, this time with Gary Payton and Karl Malone. This Lakers team would unfortunately lose to the Detroit Pistons in the NBA Finals. Shaq got traded to Miami, and that was it for the dynamic duo, creating one of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history. For most of that season, Kobe would wear the Huarache 2K4 in a multitude of colors, and I mean a multitude of colors. Red and blues for the All-Star game, gray and baby blue for the Lakers throwback jerseys, laser printed pairs, all white pairs, all black pairs. This was Kobe's signature shoe before his own shoe. The shoe was even included in Nike's Fade to Black pack in 2006 to go alongside Kobe's retirement. Starting out white and fresh with the 2K4 and slowly fading to black chromatically up to Kobe's newest signature shoe at the time, which was the Kobe 11. The Nike Air Huarache 2K4 was a staple in almost every Hooper's gym bag at the time. The lightweight shoe features typically nubuck or leather uppers on top of a midsole that features Nike Zoom Air technology in the heel, a smaller Zoom bag in the forefoot, and herringbone traction on the outsole. The shoe also features a Huarache style booty construction that was also seen in shoes like the Air Jordan 7, 8, and 9. Kobe was wearing the Nike Air Huarache 2K4 on the court, but behind the scenes, Eric Avar was working on his first signature shoe, and it was something serious, the Nike Kobe 1. Kobe Bryant and Adidas were done. Kobe had bumped heads with the brand and was not happy with the direction Adidas was taking his signature line. Was the toaster oven shoe the last straw? Maybe. In our last video on Kobe sneakers, we covered his free agency years where he flirted with other brands that were sending him free products at the time. Reebok, Nike, Converse, and even And1 would send him stuff. But it would be the swoosh that would sign him, where we all know Kobe belongs. Longtime Nike designer Eric Avar would start to design for the Kobe 1, but it was designer Ken Link that would finish the final product. Ken had already worked on designing shoes for LeBron James at that point, and the 2 sneaker greats would come together to make the Kobe 1, a very good transition shoe from the Huarache 2K4 and the 2K5, 2 of Kobe's go-to shoes during his sneaker free agency year. The Kobe 1 featured a leather and suede build with a carbon fiber shank plate and 2 Zoom airbags in the sole. The design tried to connect some of that Huarache influence with the cutout on the Achilles, designed to give the wearer more flexibility in the foot. Although the Kobe 1 isn't one of the most notable models in Kobe's lineup, the shoe would be known for being the choice of footwear for arguably one of the most unbelievable games in NBA history. On January 22nd, 2006, Kobe Bryant would drop 81 points on the Toronto Raptors. He went 28 for 46 on shooting, 18 of 20 at the free throw line, and had the second most points in history in an NBA game. A performance that, to this day, still stands the test of time.
Kobe Bryant, absolutely incredible. Last time I talked to you, you had 62, a career high. You just scored 81 points, the second most points in the history of the NBA, second only to Wilt Chamberlain. It comes to the victory. What can you say?
Well, you know, we wanted to win this game so bad, and they jumped out to us on an early lead. And you know, my ankle was hurting me. I was a little tired, but you know, we needed to get this W, so I had to push through it, and you know, I had a great performance. I couldn't even dream of this when I was a kid. You know, just no way possible. He's just a blessing from above to be able to play this game, and more importantly, get out of here with this W. That's what really matters.
Kobe wore a white and purple pair with the black swoosh, now dubbed the 81 points. The Kobe 1 would have a handful of original colorways, but in 2018, the Kobe 1 would get a breath of fresh air with the Proto. A performance retro, the shoe looks identical to the original, but now features a full-length Zoom Air unit. The Kobe 2 came out in 2006. This sneaker took inspiration from the very popular Free technology that was featured on a lot of Nike running shoes at the time. It also came equipped with a podular outsole design, engineered to flex with the foot as it steps. The midsole was kind of awkwardly stitched to the upper, similar to how shoes like the Dunk and the Air Force One are constructed, but this one was done a bit more abruptly. The Kobe 2 was released in a variety of iterations actually. Dubbed the Strength or ST, the shoe would feature a new midfoot strap design for increased stability, which helped Kobe on the court. With the past two models being designed predominantly by Ken Link, Eric Avar would finally step in and work on the Kobe 3, a polarizing sneaker to say the least. Looking back, an outlier of the early Kobe models for sure. The Kobe 3 would consist of a mainly mesh build, designed for breathability with a polyurethane netting or webbing on the upper for structure. A non-signature shoe Kobe was obsessed with was the original Nike Hyperdunk. This shoe gave us great insight on what we would see in Kobe's sneaker models to come. Kobe loved the Hyperdunk, even wearing it during the 2008 Beijing Olympics when the US men's basketball team took gold. Fun fact, Kobe actually jumped over an Aston Martin while wearing some Hyperdunks.
Alright, do not try what I'm about to attempt right now. Don't worry about it, don't worry about it. I got it, I will be there. I will be there, perfectly healthy. I got this. You trust your boy? You trust your boy? Come on, man. Hey, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Just watch what I do, man. Come on, bring it down. I told you. I told you. March 31st, 2008, baby. That is how you jump over an Aston Martin, boy. That's how you do it. Hyperdunks.
I gotta know, when you guys saw this, did you think it was fake or real? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you're enjoying this video, hit us with a gracious like. Thank you. Obviously, this sneaker informed the design for the Kobe 4 greatly. Like the Hyperdunk, the Kobe 4 featured a fly wire upper and a Zoom Air cushion midsole, a match made in heaven for hoopers. From a gold medal in the Hyperdunk to a championship in the Kobe 4, the 4 would bring something else to the table besides the materials. It has legacy built right into it, and that's what makes this sneaker special. Inspired by his love of soccer, Kobe noticed how players made quick lateral movements on the field wearing low-top cleats. Nowadays, low tops are a common appearance on the court, but it started going mainstream within the basketball market with the Kobe 4. The 5 was pretty similar to the 4 in terms of technology, but it was made lighter and lower, going full synthetic on the upper. However, the Kobe 4 is a sneaker that had the best colorways in my opinion. The Chaos, the Bruce Lees, the Aston Martins, and the Dark Knights are some of my personal favorites. Nowadays, NBA players are getting crazy Kobe 4 PEs. DeMar DeRozan and PJ Tucker would both have some PEs made for them, and even have some of their own releases of this sneaker. On a super random side note, does anybody remember the puppet commercials that Nike did with LeBron and Kobe during that time?
3 championship rings.
Kobe, I'm busy.
And they represent the 3 championships that I myself have won.
This is my problem.
Now, somewhere in this area, I seem to have misplaced my 3 championship
Kobe, I'm trying
rings.
to play a game.
Have you seen
Kobe.
them? I did say there were 3 of them, didn't I?
I don't have time
you
for
probably
this.
don't even know what they look like. See, for each one of these delicious chocolate chip cookies, there is an equally delicious NBA championship ring that you don't have.
Kobe, I'm trying to...
One for each chocolatey cookie.
Move the cookies
And
off
you
my...
gotta be hungry, LeBron.
I'm
talking about stomach growling.
Well, maybe you should check your championship ring display case.
Oh, snap. Will you look at that?
They're my 3 championship rings.
Hello, gorgeous.
Oh, you
hey,
got names
beautiful.
for them all?
What's up,
You got
sexy?
names? That's
Y'all
cute.
playing hide and seek with me?
Why do we live together?
Such a weird era, right? Anyways, back to the sneakers. When you think of Jordans, the 11 and the 1 usually come to mind first. But when I think of Kobe's, my mind instantly goes to the Kobe 6. Synthetic uppers inspired by snakeskin, a direct tribute to Kobe's nickname, Black Mamba. However, the upper wasn't just for looks. In a process called Kurim, Nike was able to strategically inject polyurethane along the upper in high wear and tear areas where more support was needed, an idea that was also used on the Kobe 3 mentioned earlier. Let's talk about colorways, and it's no secret that Kobe 6 has the best colorways of all the Kobe models, and it's not even close. Obviously, the Grinches are number one, but the Chaos colorway would return on the 6, which was pretty dope. There was a pair inspired by Orange County that had these really cool red and orange hues. The Kobe 6 All-Stars, the K-Yows, there was the Kobe 6 China, and then one of the coolest colorways was the Kobe 6 3D, which was inspired by those old Hollywood 3D effects and even came with a pair of gimmicky 3D glasses. I don't know why, but 3D movies always felt like a scam to me whenever I had those glasses on. I could never get into it. I prefer to watch a movie without the glasses. Moving on to the Kobe 7. This sneaker featured a familiar looking upper in terms of construction. It was a synthetic upper made of plastic with flywire underneath for some structure. It was similar to the Kobe 2 in how there were different models for different playstyles. The 7 came equipped with the newly added Kobe system, and there was 2 different booty constructions connected to 2 different drop-in midsole options. Attack Strong would feature an ankle strap connected to a full Cushlon sole for people who needed just a bit more cushion. Attack Fast was a little more traditional, and a lot of what we've already seen in the Kobe line, which featured a lower cut tongue and zoom cushioning. Alright, the 7 kept up with the 6 in terms of great colorways, but the 6 was still the best. There was the Cheetahs, the Year of the Dragon, the Galaxies, and the What Does. There was also the Barcelonas, which all these colorways are amazing. Nike basketball sneakers were on a different level in the early 2010s. The 7 would also debut a new concept for Nike basketball at the time, the Elite Series. The Elite Series was made to give an upgrade to the shoe just in time for the playoffs. The Kobe 7 Elite would add carbon fiber and bring back the Kurim scales along the upper. The Kobe 8 switched things up a bit from a material standpoint. Ditching Nike Flywire and plastics, the Kobe 8 would feature an engineered mesh upper for peak flexibility and breathability. And no more zoom either. This shoe would feature a full Lunarlon drop-in midsole. The 8s would also get an Elite version for the playoffs, bringing back Flywire into the shoe and zoom air cushioning. Once again, colorways really made this shoe. The Easters, the 2012 Christmas pair, Pit Vipers, the Mamba Curials, and the Black History Months. All amazing colorways. Leading up to the Kobe 9, Nike would bring back the Kobe 1 through 8 in the Prelude pack, a tribute to the past 8 Kobe silhouettes in which each model is inspired by art pieces inspired by different stories in Kobe's playing career. Sneakers inspired by art pieces inspired by Kobe's career up until that point. Confused? Don't be. We're gonna break it all down right now.
It's pretty cool with this prelude pack that we're doing is to be able to look at the shoes and the inspiration that originally was there and would kind of put some of the historical context to it. You know, through an 81-point game, through the misery shoe. What's the common denominator that kind of weaves through all of these things, right? Being creative with purpose. You know, that's what it's all about.
The 1 was inspired by his surreal 81-point game, and the 2 was inspired by Marble and how he carved his name into basketball history. The 3 took the feeling of losing to the Celtics in the finals. As for the 4, it was inspired by the unrestrained performance of a champion, featuring splatters like how Kobe was splattered all over the court during that season. The 5 was bold, like claiming a 5th NBA title. The 6 took inspiration from Los Angeles and Kobe's heart for the City of Angels. The 7 was inspired by Kobe fighting for gold during the Olympics. And finally, the 8 was a reflection inspired by how Kobe had to reflect on how he was going to return to the court following his major Achilles injury. All of this leading up to the highly anticipated release of the Kobe 9. This is where the Kobe line would go back to pushing boundaries. Flyknit was used for the first time on a basketball shoe, instead of engineered mesh, to give more strength and structure, which the 8 really lacked. Zoom Air would also be absent on this entry, just a full-length Lunarlon drop-in midsole. Putting Flyknit on a basketball shoe was definitely a step forward for the brand, but more notably was the shoe's height. Although not connected, the dramatic switch came after an Achilles injury while Kobe was wearing the 8. There's actually a design element inspired by this major Achilles surgery that Kobe had with the stitches on the back of the shoe running down his Achilles. The Kobe 9 was meant to be an extension of the foot, like how boxing boots provided support without getting in the way of any movements. The 10 honestly didn't do much at all in terms of technology innovation. Although it did bring back Zoom Air in the heel, and the colorways were pretty bad, but the 11 is where it gets really good. The 11 debuted during Kobe's final season in the NBA, a sneaker that marks the end of one of the most decorated basketball players of all time. The 11 was more traditional to what we've seen before in the Kobe line. A low top this time around featuring Flyknit along the upper, with a drop-in midsole like we saw in the 7 through 9 and a generous Zoom Air bag in the heel. If you haven't already, you should definitely re-watch the last couple of minutes of Kobe's last game where he's wearing those shoes. You might get goosebumps. On the court, Kobe was obviously one of the best to ever do it, and that mentality was kept over to the sneakers. Kobe was actively involved in his line, and that's why his line with Nike is one of the greatest of all time. Even after Kobe's playing career was over, he worked with Nike to continue raising the bar for basketball shoes. The Kobe AD line kept the designs going, but none of them really took off like the original line did in terms of the culture. And since his tragic passing in 2020, many NBA players and casual hoopers from all over the world wear Kobe's to pay respect to his greatness. The likes of Julius Randle, Devin Booker, and DeMar DeRozan are all players who wear Kobe's every single game. The Kobe 6 is pretty much like the official shoe of the NBA right now. And prices for Kobe's have skyrocketed. Allegedly, a disagreement between Vanessa Bryant and Nike about Nike's failure to get Kobe sneakers into the hands of everyone who wants a pair led to the end of their partnership. As of right now, it's crazy to think that the few Kobe's we got in proto form recently are potentially the last Kobe shoes to ever release. Of course, this could all change tomorrow, and Mamba and Nike could reunite in a big way, and that's what I suspect will happen, and I'm hopeful for that to happen, but I don't know, what do you guys think? Today, we're going to be learning about all 5 of the sneakers Kobe Bryant had on feet when he won his 5 championship rings. When Shaq and Kobe first linked up in 1996, the league had no idea what was coming.
The rings guarded by Pippen. Kobe on the move. Bounce for O'Neal for the dunk. Kobe Bryant.
From 1996 to 1999, the Los Angeles Lakers amassed a record of 148 wins and 46 losses. At the time, this iconic 3-year span was among one of the most successful regular season runs in NBA history. However, the success failed to carry over into the playoffs. They needed an experienced championship coach. Enter Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson's arrival for the 1999-2000 season, along with the move into the Staples Center, would change the Lakers organization forever. Jackson, as the winner of 6 of the previous 9 NBA championships, brought the postseason credibility that the Los Angeles Lakers sorely lacked. With Phil Jackson at the helm, the Lakers would soar to a 67 wins and 15 losses regular season record, all fueled by Shaquille O'Neal, who would have one of the greatest seasons by a player in NBA history and the greatest of his career. However, overshadowed by O'Neal's brilliance, Kobe Bryant was breaking out and making the transition from a premier talent to a premier player. And it was this season that would take Kobe to a place he'd never been before, his first NBA Finals.
Hits the jumper and then sort of gives it down.
After winning 67 games and beating the Portland Trail Blazers in the Western Conference Finals, Kobe and the Lakers advanced to the NBA Finals to face a Reggie Miller-led Indiana Pacers. As Game 6 approached, the Lakers were not going to let the opportunity to win a championship on their home court just fly by them. Led by Shaq, who scored 40 points and Kobe with 26, the Lakers won their first championship since 1998. And despite a poor shooting performance, Kobe donned a pair of his latest signature shoe with Adidas, the Kobe 1. The Adidas 1 was a huge departure from the Adidas KB sneakers that he was using before. The futuristic aesthetic was inspired by the Audi TT Roadster, apparently at the time one of Kobe's favorite cars. To go along with the debut of the Kobe 1, Adidas unveiled the Froby logo, a silhouette of a young Kobe with an afro. Personally, my favorite Kobe logo. After going 11-0 in the first 3 rounds of the 2001 NBA playoffs, the Los Angeles Lakers entered the NBA Finals versus the Philadelphia 76ers. They were widely expected to to sweep the Sixers and become the first team to win an NBA championship while going undefeated through the postseason. But the Sixers had league MVP Allen Iverson and Defensive Player of the Year Dikembe Mutombo. Really, no one else on their roster would have cracked the rotation of most other good or great teams. Still, Philly shocked LA by defeating them in Game 1. By the end of the series though, Shaq and Kobe and the Lakers were triumphant with a dominant 4-1 victory over AI and the Sixers. Despite having a brand new signature model with Adidas, Kobe favored the Kobe 1 to finish the job over the Kobe 2. The Kobe 2 is probably the most bizarre performance shoe ever made. The Kobe 2s took the same design language from the previous model and transformed the mold into a box-shaped looking toaster, something the world was not ready for. Not even Kobe Bryant was ready for this shoe. Many believe the Kobe 2's unfavored design is the reason why Kobe ended up severing ties with Adidas. Kobe didn't like the design direction Adidas was taking him in. The term three-peat was first used in sports by Pat Riley, who coached the Los Angeles Lakers during their attempt to win a third consecutive championship in the 1988 and 1989 season. They came up short that year, losing in the NBA Finals to the Detroit Pistons. Fast forward to 2002, and Kobe Bryant and the Lakers are on their way to making franchise history with the Lakers' first ever three-peat. After a hellish Western Conference Finals with the Sacramento Kings, the Lakers willed their way to the NBA Finals for a third time in a row after beating the Kings in a Game 7 face-off. What followed was probably one of the most dominant, and for the Brooklyn Nets, embarrassing NBA Finals series ever, with the Lakers legit sweeping the Nets with a 4-0 victory. Speaking of embarrassing, the disdain for the Kobe 2 was still lingering, and for a third championship in a row, Kobe rebelled against his shoe sponsor Adidas by wearing the Kobe 1 to complete his iconic three-peat. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers came into the 2008-2009 season super determined. Not only that, but Kobe had still yet to win a championship without Shaquille O'Neal, a narrative that he couldn't let slide. And thanks to this, the 2009 NBA Finals can be remembered as, well, for Orlando Magic fans, frustrating to say the least. Kobe led the Los Angeles Lakers to the franchise's 15th championship victory. The sneakers he had on feet? The beloved Kobe 4. The Kobe 4 featured cutting-edge technology like Zoom and Nike Flywire, but perhaps its most innovative design detail? It was a low top? Inspired by his love of soccer, Kobe saw how soccer players were agile and quick while wearing low-cut cleats. This was a huge shift in basketball shoes, and now in 2022, low tops are a common appearance on the hardwood. But it all started going mainstream with the Kobe 4. On June 17th of 2010, one of the greatest games of all time between two of the greatest sports franchises of all time took place. The Los Angeles Lakers played the Boston Celtics in a winner-take-all Game 7 NBA Finals matchup for the ages. And boy was history made, not only on the basketball side of things, but also on the sneaker side of things. Kobe laced up the big stage colorways of the Kobe 5 in home and away colorways, each featuring gold accents and tonal graphics. As for the tech in the sneaker, the Kobe 5 was basically identical to the 4, except it had an even lower cut. The 5 debuted some iconic colorways like the Bruce Lee's, but these are the ones that Kobe used in this final series, and he finished the job specifically in the white and gold pair. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you made it this far, you're probably really into sneakers and sneaker culture, and that is exactly what we do here on this channel. So before you dip, consider subscribing to the channel. It would really help us out, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.